Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf. I am doing the makeup of a very special guest today, but before I introduce this person, if you are new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I am a fully qualified esthetician and lover of anything beauty, skincare and makeup. I no longer practice in a salon or a clinic as my full-time job is now YouTube. I upload videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 PM London time, and I'm also on Instagram if you want to check me out over there. It's at Pampered Wolf, all lowercase, no spaces. I would really appreciate it if you would consider clicking on that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Now, let's just get her in here because I just can't contain myself.
Hello.
This is so exciting. Let's get her in the chair and we'll get some makeup on her. Okay, so we are going to go straight in with the CHANTECAILLE Future Skin Foundation because everybody has been asking me what my mum's opinion is on this, and we don't know because we've not seen each other, so she's not tried it. So we're going to try it today. I'm going to use the shade Vanilla. I've got a feeling this may be slightly too deep, but I know that the porcelain shade, which is my shade, is going to be way too light. So we may end up mixing them by the end of this video, but there will be an in-between shade that my mum will be. So let me just pop some of this on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply this with a damp blending sponge because I find that this is the best way to apply this, especially if you have a temperamental sunscreen on that might be disrupted whilst using a brush. So we're going to go straight in with this. So we just thought we'd do a little bit of makeup today that was very, very natural because you're not used to wearing makeup at the moment, are you?
Not foundation, no. I haven't worn it for a very long time now. Since the lock-in, really.
So we didn't want to frighten you too much. I think you get used to not that feeling on your skin that doesn't have foundation on. And I know that when I've filmed at weekends, even though I feel much better in myself because I look a bit more presentable with makeup on, I don't like the feeling on my skin anymore and I can't wait to get it off. So we just want a natural, really light coveraged look today. Okay, so just have a look at that. Obviously we've not done your under eyes yet. Oh,
gosh, that's it just looks like skin, doesn't it? It is gorgeous. So how much is it, Gem?
It's
90 something.
£70.
Oh gosh, that's far too expensive for me.
Okay, so let's do the other side. I think it's the best way to apply it with a sponge because you get this really beautiful natural coverage. I think when you apply something with a brush, it's the temptation of adding a little bit more than you actually need. And it can start to look more unnatural when you apply things with a brush. It's still my preference for a lot of foundations. I do like applying things with a brush, but I tend to go in very, very sparingly when I'm using a brush for application. That is definitely the right shade for you.
Surprising because it looks orange.
It does in the thing, but it is quite a sheer coverage. You can build this up. It is really possible to build this up to more of a very light medium coverage.
This looks like the sort of foundations that they had in the 1950s and 60s where people weren't actually matching their shades like they do now.
So for concealer, we are going to go in with the KEVYN AUCOIN. This is also extremely expensive and it's very, very creamy in texture. So if you put the slightest bit too much on, it's going to crease. So we're going to test this out. So I'm just going to get the tiniest bit on my hand here, and I'm not going to use all that on both of my mum's eyes. So I'm going to take a little foundation brush and I'm padding that on to begin with. And then what we'll probably do is go back in with the sponge. I find it's quite good to go in with your fingers with this as well because the heat of your fingers really does help blend this out. So once you've got the knack for exactly how much your skin needs, this is one of the best concealers you'll ever get your hands on. And if you've ever tried the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, which is my mum's ride or die, you will really like this because it's very, very similar consistency. Absolutely fantastic. The difference in both sides is brilliant. This one does have a slight sheen on the surface, so if you do like something with more of a matte finish, this one isn't going to be for you. But I think it looks really flattering on my mum. So the trick to this concealer, which looks absolutely amazing on my mum, I hope you agree, is to just let that sink in. Don't apply any powder over it because this is a cream consistency. This will go really gunky and cakey if you apply a powder over it too soon. You can apply powders over this, but I would definitely wait a while before you even try doing it, and make sure that you've applied very little of the concealer if you are going to be applying a powder over the top. You don't need a lot of this concealer. It is super high coverage, so it's the perfect one for somebody that's not wanting a lot of product underneath the eye, which I think it looks really nice on you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I've just put some of the Chantecaille Future Skin on my mum's eyelids because I hadn't done that before, and my mum, like myself, has a little bit of discoloration on her eyelids, so we need something on that, but not anything too heavy. I definitely wouldn't use the KEVYN AUCOIN on your eyelids because your eyelids are extremely movable. They're moving all the time, and this will crease, even though it's waterproof and it's sweat proof and humidity proof. If it's moving all the time, it will crease. So we've just gone for the Chantecaille Future Skin, and it looks really, really nice. So I'm going to go in and do the eyebrows. You've seen me use this all the time. So I'm going to go off camera and do this because you see me do my mum's eyebrows all the time, and we're literally just filling them in and giving them a little bit more colour. Nothing to do with shape, just filling them in a little bit and making them look a tiny bit darker. Okay, so we're just going to give a dusting of the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And when I say a dusting, I mean very, very little because this foundation doesn't need much. But my mum does have combination oily skin. So I do feel like it's necessary to pop a little bit on the T-zone, just to make the foundation last a little bit more and just take the edge off the shininess. Okay, so we're going to move on to bronzer, and my mum was drawn to the Charlotte Tilbury bronzers. I don't get a lot of wear out of this because this one is the right shade for me, but is a little bit yellow in undertone, so it makes me look a little bit bruised. And this one is slightly too dark for me and slightly too warm for me. I need one in the middle, like I said in my review. So we're going to try the warmer one on my mum today because I think the paler one will be far too pale. My mum has got a lot more colour on her face than I do. I'm only going to take a little bit. The formulas of these bronzers are beautiful. It's just the shade range that I just wish they'd bring out something a little bit cooler. So we're going to bronze my mum up today and make her look a little bit more sun-kissed. And I'm just dabbing that on the face. I'm not swiping because I don't want to disrupt any of the product we've already got underneath. And I also don't want to drag the skin or irritate the skin. Okay, so now all the bronzer's done and my mum looks beautiful and sun-kissed. The head matches the rest of the body. We haven't got a floating head. I'm just going to deal with the concealer and put a tiny bit of powder in those shiny areas because right in this corner here is a little bit shiny and I want to take that away. Usually I wouldn't set this concealer in place for my mum because I don't think it's necessary, but I do want to just mattify that area slightly, and to do that I'm going to use my favourite product at the moment, which I'm sure you will all want to know if it works on my mum as well. This is called, get the full name, the Bare Minerals SPF 20 Eye Brightener, and this is the shade Well Rested. This may be slightly too pale for my mum, but if we're only doing it in the inner corner, it'll be a nice little inner corner highlight. So I'm just going to really swirl my brush in the powder, knock off the excess, and you need the tiniest amount. If you are going to do this at home, please do not over powder because it will end up looking cakey. It will be an absolute disaster. So I just want to add the tiniest amount. This also adds a little bit of extra coverage, so if you have any areas of darkness that are still poking through, this is a great product. So I'm just tapping that on, and that's where I'm leaving it. That's it. The tiniest little bit of powder makes a big difference. So my favourite mascara is the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes. I absolutely love this, but I think you either love it or you're going to hate it. It's that sort of mascara. It is intensely black, and a lot of people have had a problem, not with flaking, but with transfer. So if you live in a really hot, humid climate, this one might not be for you. If I've been filming all day and I've got this on my lashes, I do sometimes get some transfer because my lashes are really long and they do tend to touch my upper lids. So we're gonna try this out on my mum today because my mum does have quite oily eyelids, don't you? And
yeah.
So we're gonna see whether this works. So I'm going to get my mum to do this as per usual because I don't trust myself. I am not a makeup artist. I do my mum's makeup all the time, but I never do the mascara because, you know, I don't want to poke her in the eye. Okay, so once the mascara's done, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful on my mum's eyes, it really does make the blue in my mum's eyes stand out. Now we've got the intense black of the mascara. I'm going to move on to cheeks. Now, I know a lot of you wanted to know what my mum thought of this product, which I absolutely swear by. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip and Cheek Glow in the shade Colour of Dreams, which is the paler of the two shades that are available in this product. So I'm going to do this with my fingers. My fingers are clean, just in case anybody wants to know. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger and I'm just going to dab that in the areas that I want it and just start tapping with my finger and blending that upwards up the cheeks. This is such a beautiful natural product. If you apply too much though, this can be sticky. So if you wear your hair down, be prepared if there's a gust of wind for your hair to stick to your face. So you just apply the smallest amount and just pat that into the skin and you won't get that sticky feeling. So a while ago I did a video all about the brand new products that have been released from Fenty. In that video I reviewed the Slip Shine lipsticks and so many of you wanted to know my mum's opinion. This is the first time she's going to try these out. These are very, very hydrating, really lush on the lips, very comfortable to wear. So this is the shade Goji Gang. So that's it, that is the finished look. And I think you look gorgeous. So this is the finished look. Do let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. I really hope you've enjoyed having my mum back on the channel. It's been a real treat for me. This is the first time I've managed to get my hands on your face for around about 5 months. So I've absolutely loved it. I hope everybody's loved it as much as I have. I think you look really, really beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Don't forget to check out the pinned comment at the top of the comment section where I will fill you in on whether my mum likes these products, whether they didn't wear well, and how she feels about them in general, whether she would recommend them to you. So hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.